A critical step in your home buying journey is getting pre approved for a mortgage. And trust me, skipping this step could cost you your dream home. This is part of my home buying journey series. I am going through every step of the process, and I'll link the videos below. Hi, I'm David Mercier. I'm a licensed realtor in the state of California who believes dream homes do come true, and I'm here to show you how. I specialize in helping people get from where they are to the dream home they've been wanting for years, no matter if you are just starting to think about buying a home, or you're living in a condo and you're cramped for space, or you're just not feeling like your current home is your forever home. I can help you get into that dream home. We can sit down, make a plan, figure it out together, and I can help you through all of the steps of the process. So please subscribe as I am sharing these useful tips and insights in the home buying process. All right, so what is pre-approval? You've probably heard it before. If you haven't bought a house, you might not know what it means. And basically, it means that you have provided a bunch of documents to a lender. And so they have a good picture of who you are financially. And they have said, if you were to buy a house, this is the amount that you would qualify for. So this is a little bit different than pre-qualification. Pre-approval usually involves actually filling out an application. The lender's going to run your credit, and they're going to look at a bunch of documents that you provide for them to prove your income and your assets and stuff like that. Pre-qualification is a little bit before pre-approval. If some people are just curious, they might have a quick conversation with a lender to share what their income is and their approximate debt and assets, and then the lender would say, "Oh, you'd probably qualify for about this much." It's pretty much not done anymore these days, but every once in a while, I still see somebody with a pre-qualification letter. And that just means that the lender hasn't run their credit yet, and so they aren't as far along in the process. Now, there's also a next step after pre-approval that some people do, especially if they are facing a deadline, which is desktop underwriting. And basically, that means the lender has gone through a few more steps in the loan process, and all they need is the address of the property, and they'd be good to go with the loan. Most people don't do that unless, like I said, you have a really tight deadline and you want to make your offer look as good as possible. Usually, pre-approval is fine to make an offer and get accepted in open escrow. How can not having pre-approval cost you your dream home? Well, it's happened to clients. I bet if you ask any agent, they would say that they've seen it happen, where the a potential client or someone that you've uh, met with, and they said, "Oh, we want to buy a home like eventually, and we're just starting to look." That they stumble into an open house one weekend, they fall in love, and they call you up and say like, "Oh, we want to put in an offer." Well, depending on the market, the seller might be reviewing offers like on Monday. And if you have yet to meet with a lender to get the pre-approval process going, you can do it in a day. Usually, if you have all of your documents together, a lot of people don't have all their documents handy. So it might take a couple of days. Um, so if the seller wants to review offers and they're going to pick one, and you submit an offer, but you don't have your pre-approval, and you say you'll send it in a day or two, it just puts you below all of the other offers that they have received, and therefore you have a lower chance of your offer being accepted. Um, Now, it's still possible to get your offer accepted without pre-approval, but most agents are going to, when you're seriously looking to buy, are going to ask you to get that pre-approval letter from a lender. You're going to be in communication with your lender to make sure that we're both on the same page for the timelines that we're writing into the offer. And it is just a very useful tool to make your offer stand out. So how do you find the right lender to work with? Well, just like in my previous video about picking the right agent to work with, you are going to do your research, and I always suggest shopping around. We shop around for pretty much everything that we buy, right? So when we're buying the most expensive thing in our lives, in most people's lives, why do we not shop around? I actually read an article last year that said, I think about 35 or even 40% of people find a better deal by meeting with a second lender, and that it recommended that people meet with three different lenders before they commit. Um, Typically, people don't shop around because they're afraid each lender is going to want to run their credit and it's going to ding them a lot of points. But there is a parameter with when you are shopping for a loan, a mortgage, that the credit reporting agencies are going to see if you do it all within, a couple of weeks of each other. They're going to see that you're looking for a loan and it's not going to affect your credit as you think it would. Um, of course, before you do anything, you should talk to a financial expert. But these are just some tips from me as an agent who has helped some people over the past few years find the right lender for them. Okay, so there's different kinds of lenders. There are ones that work with banks, credit unions, and then there's private lenders. Every lender has a range of products with different types of loans, not just the different kinds of loans, but like the different ways that the loans are created. Um, and any lender that you meet with can detail all of that out for you. That is not my expertise. And so we'll just call them products. But depending on what your financial situation is, what your goals are, how long you plan to stay in the home, everybody has a different financial profile, right? And dreams and goals. So a good lender is going to listen to all of those things that you want to do and your plans, and they're going to provide you with some options depending on your financial situation. There it might be a lot of options or just a few options. And there's definitely a handful of different types of loans that you'll probably qualify for, and they'll walk you through all of those options to pick out the best one for you. Sometimes when you meet with different lenders, the rate that they quote you might be pretty similar and like not have a huge impact on what your monthly payment would be, but they might have varying closing cost fees, appraisal fees, or they might cover some of those fees depending on what kind of market it is in, if they're hungry for business. And it never hurts to ask to I always tell people to be transparent. Say you're meeting with two other lenders and you're looking for the best package that the lender can provide you. Now, a lot of people ask me what type of documents the lender is going to need, and that is really tricky because, like I mentioned, everyone having a different financial situation. It really depends on you and who's buying the house. If you're married, if you're friends going in on a home, if you're a gig worker versus a W-2 employee, if you have investment accounts or other assets that you need to disclose. And so the best thing to do is just ask the lender. Um, if you're being introduced by them, I usually recommend having a phone call before you fill out the online application. And that's when you can lay out your situation and get the exact list of documents that you're going to need to provide. Most lenders have online like portal where it's a secure upload thing, so you can fill out the application, pop in all your documents, and it's all secure online. And then they will stay in touch with you, and if you'd like them to, they'd stay in touch with your agent to keep you informed on what's going on with your pre-approval. So just to recap, I really believe that getting your pre-approval is important when you're at that actual stage of wanting to put in offers on home. It can help you get your offer to stand out if you're applying and other people don't have pre-approval, and it really can help you secure that home that you're looking for. So I hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe so you don't miss the next installment of my home buying journey series. And remember, if you want to get a hold of me, you can find me all over online, David Mercier Real Estate. Instagram messages or my website has a little contact form. If you have any questions, you can send them there or pop them in a comment here. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.